Hello, I hope you're all right. Bit of an impromptu video, if I'm honest. So this morning I posted about reading with your baby because there are loads and loads of benefits with reading to a baby. I know, sometimes we feel a bit silly, maybe a bit daft because when you read with your baby, they're not following the words. They don't necessarily understand the words. They're not looking at the pictures. But actually, there's something very special about reading with your baby from the start, from day one, if you can. I know it's maybe when you're ready. But there are loads of amazing things that happen when you're reading with your baby. Hold them close, let them hear your voice, let them see the different expressions on your face, hear the tones in your voice, let them hear the vibrations on your chest. It's such a close time with your baby and it's amazing for bonding. So it doesn't matter that they're not taking in the pictures, that they're not following the words. Our babies and toddlers are like sponges. It's all going in. Trust me, it's all going in. And this is why we encourage parents and carers to talk, chat and read and sing with their children as much as possible from the day that they're born, because it's all going in. It all happens with a child understanding the flow of language and how sentences are put together and how we express ourselves. And it will one day, trust me, it will one day surprise you. It will all, when they are ready, it will all come out. And you'll think, my goodness, where have they got that word from? Mason the other day said dehydrated. I didn't know he knew that one. But quite often I do say to him, make sure you've had a glass of water today. It's hot. I don't want you to get dehydrated. We say these things to them all the time. And one day they will surprise us and they'll use it in the right context. And it starts from day one of just immersing our children in lots of lovely, rich language and use those big words. As the saying always says, if a young child can say Tyrannosaurus Rex, they can say perseverance and dehydration and all those other ones as well. So use all that wonderful rich vocab with your babies and your little ones. And this I'm talking for all ages, starting from day one, going all the way through. So when I posted about asking for recommendations for baby books, I said, yes, I would happily agree. So I thought I'd do a little video, then you can always come back to this one if it helps. This is just the selection that I have. Of course, there are children's books these days. Oh my goodness, aren't they amazing? They are wonderful. These are the ones I'm using currently with Leo and have been for a while. He's 9 months now, and some of them are real favourites. Right. However, I'm going to start with the first one. What? Yeah, it's true. Because I have grabbed the Joe Wicks recipe book here, Lean in 15. And the reason why I'm showing you this before I show you all the baby books is because it doesn't matter what you read to your baby. It doesn't matter if it is a lovely baby book or if it's your favourite magazine or tonight's, you're flicking through looking for tonight's dinner and you're reading them Joe Wicks' recipe book or whoever. It doesn't matter what you're reading. Read them anything and everything, because just like I said, all that vocab is going in. Yes, there's pictures and colours and things to look at. They're going to hear your voice. You can talk through it. It's just all that wonderful, rich language. So if you're reading something, read it to your baby. It doesn't matter. It's just all still such an important thing to do with your baby, because it's all that closeness, holding them close, sharing something of interest with them. You get excited like, ooh, doesn't that look nice for tonight? But we're going to have to go to the supermarket. There are loads and loads of things that you can say. So yes, read anything and everything to your baby. But there are also some very lovely baby books out there at the moment. So I want to share these with you. So I'm going to go through a selection that I have here. So I actually keep mine just to show you what I'm looking at. I have mine in a little basket in here. These are ones that are in our playroom. Leo also has them in his bedroom. We have them in the bathroom. We have them in the kitchen. We have books everywhere. And okay, we all wish we lived in a show home, but at the same time, it is a family home. It's just the way it is. But by having books around you everywhere you are, books aren't just for bedtime reading. They're for any time. Bath time reading, dinner time reading. Just grabbing a book can make all the difference. And you've heard me say that many times before. If you're stuck, grab a book. If you're looking for inspiration or you're struggling for something to do with your little one, grab a book. More often than not, it'll give you an idea of something to do. It might spark them an idea of something that they want to do. Just grab a book. They can be really, really powerful. So we do have ours dotted all around the house so that they're accessible, they're handy, and it also means that they grow up surrounded by books and will more often than not get in the habit of picking up a book and flicking through it themselves. Whether they can read it, whether they believe they can read it, doesn't matter. They get in the habit of having books around them, not for certain times of the day, which is really important. So I am just going to have a quick flick through. So this is one of the first ones. Actually, Mason was born when he was little. Few of them have been ripped off now. This is 100 First Animals. It's a lovely, I don't know who it's by, Little Tiger Kids. My auntie brought in this one. Some of the flaps have been ripped off now, but really nice. Lift the flap books are very nice for making books interactive for babies and things. And yes, they do grab them and chew on them and all sorts of things, but try if you can to share lovely books with them. If you do find you've got a little one who is active, let's say, maybe give them something to put in their hands. So maybe you've got something that goes with the book. Maybe we could pick out one of the animals. I'm going to give you a little pig to hold, and when you spot a picture of a pig, I want you to hold it in the air, you know, that sort of thing. So make them interactive. So this is a really lovely one, and I enjoyed this because when I was having days out with Mason when he was little, if we went to the farm, we could come home and look at there you go, look at the farm pictures and see which ones we found. Or, you know, we could go through different ones. We have pets and go through which pets we've got. So it's really nice. There's also lots of research as well about doing animals with young children, that they are more than likely to say the sound that an animal makes before they actually name it. So when you go to the farm, you're saying, you know, oh, look at that sheep over there. There, you're doing all the sounds and doing all the silly voices, and you're singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm and all those silly voices too, and the different sounds that they make. They're really important because more often than not, some of the first words that children will say is the sound that the animal makes before actually naming it. So isn't that fascinating? So maybe some books with animals in that you might spot when you're out and about can be really beneficial. Okay, and then some other bits and pieces that I got in here. Now, this one I was given through the Book Trust. So young children in this country are very fortunate to be given books from the Book Trust. And of course, as always, I highly recommend you use your local library as well. Really important to keep those resources open. But a great way of swapping books. And this is one we got from the Book Trust, and I love it. Black and white, clear images, encouraging babies to, it's all about baby play, so peekaboo, lots of different things, absolutely gorgeous. And all those babies have different facial expressions, and you can talk about the different things that they're doing. Really nice. Talking of black and white books, black and white is a really great thing to do with young babies because their eyes are able to focus on high contrast images. So black and white pictures can be really great for encouraging your baby to focus and start to maybe see things, and it can be very calming if they're a little bit upset. So these are some books that we've got here that I really enjoy. Now, big shout out to lovely Ruth, a good friend of mine with a small business. Sorry, I think it'll be backwards for you. Awesome Animals of the Amazon. She has lots in the range. This is the Little Black and White Book Company. You may have heard me talk about before. I'm a big fan of hers because she makes these beautiful, lovely board books, nice and chunky when they decide to have a bite, but gorgeous pictures inside that they will probably be able to focus on as babies are often able to see in black and white before they start to see colour. Really nice, and you can go through those. She does actually have some flashcards that go with them too, so nice little gift that for yourself or for a baby. And I'm also a big fan of the Jane Foster books because, again, lovely, bright, colourful pictures with lovely images that you can do with your little one. Now, before I go on to the other ones, what I want to show you about, particularly about these two, I don't know if you saw that the language is very limited. Black and white panda. You know, very limited, just naming what the animals are. And picture books, perhaps those without any text, and I haven't actually got any here, but you can get some really nice ones with no words in at all. Actually, they're really beneficial for doing with children and toddlers and older children as well. And the reason is, there's lots of research behind it, is that what they say is a parent or carer reading one of those books with no words in is more likely to actually use more words than reading a book with words. I know. But the logic is, you see, what we do is when you've got a book with very limited words or no words in at all, is we go off on one, don't we? We go off on a tangent and we talk about the pictures and we talk about what we can see and oh, can you remember that time we saw a panda, or that picture, or your puppet is a panda, and we will embellish, won't we? And we'll talk around the book and bring in lots more new words and vocabulary and things like that. However, when you're reading a book that does have language in, so for example, these, I'm a big fan of these, but that's not my puppy. Its tail is too fluffy. It's more than likely that you're just going to read what's on the page. And I'm guilty of this. You know, bedtime stories, you kind of want to get them done and dusted because you're ready to sit downstairs. So you read just what's on the page. So those books without any words actually encourage us parents and adults and grown-ups to actually use a lot more vocab, which is really interesting, isn't it? So if you do have ones with words, try and encourage yourself, a little reminder to yourself to talk about more than, or use words not just on the page. Try and talk about the pictures and things and make it relatable. Can you remember that time we saw a dog in the park? It wasn't pink, was it? What colour was it? And you can talk about it and things. But I'm also a tired parent, so I know how it feels. So yeah, as you will know, you might have seen these books before, the Usborne touchy-feely books. That's not my puppy. Nice to have ones if they're animals that you can relate to or anything like that. Right, I better get going because I'm going to get cut off soon. Where's my lion? Really like these because of the neon felty flaps inside, which are really gorgeous for little ones to want to touch and discover the animals hidden inside. And we always love one that's got a mirror in the back, don't we? Now then, this I've not seen before, but we were bought by a friend yesterday for Leo, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So who goes swim? Who goes swim, swim, swim? You lift it up. I do. I'm a fish, and it's got this like lovely shimmery, sparkly, really nice. Now I must admit the flaps would be hard for a little one to open themselves because they do lie flat on the page. But absolutely gorgeous. This is really nice. This is called Sparkle Go Seek, and it looks like they have lots of other ones in the range. We've got the ocean one. I really like those. I'm not sure where it's come from, but I imagine if you have a little lock online, by Bethany Carter. I really like that. That's brand new. Never seen that before. And another shout out to another small business, Books and Pieces, who sent this for us. And these are the Indestructible books, which is a great idea. They're actually created for babies out of, it's almost like it feels like a waxy material. I don't actually know what it's made from. But the idea is that they can read them in the bath, they can chew on them, they can pull them, they can put them in mud, and they do not get ruined. They are indestructible. How cool is that? And we've got the lovely Hello Farm. We were kindly sent a range of these. I was gifted these, which was very kind, but I would still recommend them. I'd never heard of them before, and I think they're fab. But what a great idea. So they are the Indestructibles, and go and check them out with Books and Pieces. So I hope there I've given you a nice range and just something to have a think about and look at if you're going to the library, if you're going into a bookshop, or if someone's asking you what they could buy you, it maybe as a gift. You know, when they say, is there anything I can buy for the baby? Maybe ask for a nice selection of books because you will use them for years to come. And hopefully they have given you some inspiration. So there you are. It was going to be in stories, but it's ended up being an IGT video. So please do save it. You know that little ribbon with the flag at the bottom? If you save it, it means that you can come back to it later. You know that tiny thing. And what were those books that Claire said? You'll be able to find it. So I hope that's helpful. And yeah, as always, happy playing and happy reading.